Well, you have, as I said in the intro, worked with all three of Microsoft's CEOs. Is there a word or a phrase that you would come up with for each of them that gives a sense for their character?
Well, I would actually say that all three of them embody a common attribute that I have found to be present in most truly great leaders in multiple fields, and that's curiosity. And curious in different ways. Bill is well known for devouring books and reading. I still believe that Steve Ballmer can read a spreadsheet like no other human being on the planet. He can find a story. We were talking about it last week, a picture. He finds insights. And Steve can learn. Bill would more likely often learn from reading. Steve would more often learn from talking with people, reading numbers. Satya has this extraordinary range of interests. I still remember in one of my first trips overseas with Satya, we were in Finland. We were going to meet with the president of the country, and we were in a van with our government affairs person, and we were about 10 minutes early. So we ended up parking a half mile away. So Satya turns to this fellow and says, "Who's the greatest poet in the history of Finland?" And then he's going, and then he asks, and who's the greatest author of fiction in the history of Finland? And then he said, now, how do the Finns really think about their history with Russia? And then he asked, and what's happening with commercial real estate prices in Helsinki? And I was like so amazed that this poor fellow had decent answers to all these questions. I was like, if you asked me these questions about Seattle, I would be like, I give up. So just have this curiosity that is common, but also manifests itself in slightly different ways.